Yo, so guys, welcome back to another video, and this is, I feel like, well, this channel has been suggested so much, and apparently he involves the craziest stats, and I mean, like the fact that people are suggesting it because I love stats, I appreciate it a lot genuinely, because if this is what people are making it out to be, I'm gonna love this channel. This is gonna be on the second channel. I don't know, maybe I should do it on the main channel. I don't know like what sort of how many people will enjoy watching this or how many people want to watch this, but I know I will enjoy this reaction. I'm pretty sure. But the video is, I just picked a random one of his recent videos, why Luka Doncic might not be the key to Mavericks being the Clippers 2020 NBA playoffs. And I'm intrigued to see what this channel is about. Again, I've never watched him before. I've only ever heard of him because of the suggestions pretty recently, because of how much you guys know I love stats, etc. And yes, I'm intrigued to see what he is about. And if you guys enjoy this stuff, I'll definitely do more. I don't know much about this channel or anything, but I appreciate the suggestions genuinely, because a lot of people have been wanting me to do this for the last few weeks now, and yeah, I just appreciate that. The fact that you guys are putting me onto new channels, even though I've been reacting to basketball for like 6+ months now, I'm still finding new channels that can show me different things. I love it, man. I absolutely love it. But let's check this out and see why this might be the case.
The Clippers and Mavericks are locked into a fierce battle in their first-round playoff series.
2-1 now, but
one can't help but wonder what would have happened had the refs not got so involved in Game 1.
Yep.
And while the Mavs opened up with a dominating run, it was two other key stretches that decided Game 2. And believe it or not, the key factor might not have been Luka Doncic.
That is loud as fuck.
I was digging through some deep stats on this series, and something caught my eye. Despite these incredible averages from Luka, when you break out his individual minutes and possessions, it appears the offense is working much better without him on the court.
Wow.
This is astounding to anyone who actually watched him play this year, but it's hard to ignore. In fact, his presence seems to help the team on the defensive end a lot more.
What?
And Rick Carlisle has come upon a lineup that has been giving the Clippers all sorts of problems. When he replaces Doncic and Kleba with Trey Burke and Seth Curry together with the other three starters, the Mavericks' net rating in 9 minutes is enough to make Doc Rivers fall off his chair and curl into the fetal position. And it was this lineup that blew the game open at the end of the third. In a 2-point game, the Mavericks bring the ball up against a good lineup of PG, Shamet, Green, Lou, and Harrell. This lineup did very well before the bubble, but in incredibly limited minutes. Notice how Harrell is completely confused as to who he's guarding. Hint, it's the tallest guy on the court. And this double ball screen causes all kinds of havoc. Green goes with the rolling KP, Shamet chases the slick shooting Curry around the second screen, and that leaves Finney-Smith all by himself for the 3. Paul George had been playing well in the third, scoring 9 points in 10 minutes, so I don't blame him for being aggressive on this step back. But look out below! He had a terrible shooting game, and I'm sure part of it was due to his early foul trouble that ended up disrupting his rhythm, got him all sorts of frustrated, and limited his total minutes to 31. Back to the end of the third, where the Mavs come down and run a nice little curl around KP before executing a handoff for Burke looking to get downhill. This is contained perfectly by Landry, but Green makes the mistake of jumping too far on his closeout, compounding the issue by fouling the 3-point shooter and giving them 3 free throws.
Okay.
In the box score, the Mavericks get a stop on this possession, but it was certainly troubling defense to start. With the PG Harrell pick and roll to the right side, there was no need for Hardaway to be across the midline here. As a result, he's got a 20-foot closeout, which also lured Finney-Smith into the vicinity, leaving Green an open cut to the basket. However, they've got the unicorn guarding Harrell, meaning he's free to roam and protect the basket. And look out! The Mavericks race down the floor, and this looks like one of those fast break drills you run against no defense.
So important.
Primarily because Paul George just stands in the paint, not recognizing who he must pick up, and Hardaway Jr. gets another triple. With Lou going to work out top and George clearly struggling, Hardaway can be a little cavalier with his help one pass away. This open 30-footer is close, but off the back iron. Another quick double ball screen confuses the defense, as this time, Lou switches on to Finney-Smith, with Harrell dropping as if Lou was going to chase the ball. This gives Burke an easy 15-footer. The game was getting out of hand, but Doc doesn't want to call a timeout so close to the end of the quarter. So this would have been the perfect time to call out a set they practiced to generate a good shot. Instead, PG wanders over to the right wing. Harrell was there to set a screen on somebody. And now they've got nothing going on with under 10 seconds left on the shot clock. That said, when in doubt, let Lou ISO, and he promptly earns 2 much-needed free throws. This time, the Clippers get better spacing and force the help to bump down on the roll man, opening up what should have been an open corner catch-and-shoot 3. Instead, JaMychal Green steps on the line out of bounds for a really bad turnover. That simply can't happen. And the Mavs close out the quarter with nothing fancy, just a spread ISO out top for Trey Burke. Notice how he extends his right step to get a few extra inches of separation and then finishes the offhand layup with only one hand, the best way to get this off quickly before the defense can block the shot. The same lineup proved absolutely crucial to the Mavericks in Game 1. Having gone down big time to start the game, Carlisle took Luka out and the quick inside pick and roll caught Morris going underneath the screen and Zubac's basically screening his own man. Hardaway is at his best when hopping into the shot and he drops it clean through. Remember, the
really
point of any
interesting,
offense is to penetrate the defense and force closeouts and rotations. The Mavs break into a step-up screen into a flare screen on the left side. This forces a switch and Zubats has no hope keeping Finney Smith in front. Paul George stays home to help on the drive, leaving sharpshooter Seth Curry open in the corner. Lou rotates there perfectly. Paul George closes out nicely to the second pass, but Kawhi had fallen down and is late getting to the ball reversal to the corner. The middle penetration lures Zubats into help, and KP is called the unicorn because he protects the rim, can put the ball on the ground and drive, and then spot up for wing threes. And how about the shot fake sidestep 3 ball with the second defender running at him? Despite the drop defense to contain the Burke KP pick and roll, Kawhi also helps one pass away. This forced the closeout the Mavs were looking for, and Finney Smith gets a close-in shot. However, it airballs, but his hustle to get the ball back was indicative of this series so far, as PG must have touched it first before getting it ripped away and no one else is there to stop the layup. Because of KP's incredible range, it forces Zubats to have to get out 3 feet beyond the three-point line. Again, this is a 7'3" guy looking like a guard with a step back. How are you supposed to stop this?
Ridiculous.
And to finish off their run, coming all the way back from that early deficit, they don't pick up Curry at the three-point line, and that, my friends, is a big mistake. Now, the Mavericks went on to lose Game 1, and I realized they didn't go back to this lineup again in the second half. Gee, Coach Carlisle, how did you blow that one?
Porzingis, man.
Well, he didn't. The reason they couldn't go back to this lineup was because Porzingis had gotten thrown out. In a review of the play, the referees felt their hands were tied based on the letter of the law. Which makes me wonder, had Dallas been able to run this lineup again in the second half, at the precise time the Clippers were able to take control of the game, would this be a 2-0 lead for Dallas? Of course, Luka is the most important player for the Mavericks. They're not winning anything without him. He's transcendent at 21 years old and has a shot at going down as the greatest of all time. But in this series, the most important lineup Carlisle can go to...
Interesting, like, how you can, like, I'm guessing he does his research in these things, and how you can sort of make these sort of assumptions. And I mean, if he has found a stat, like, where when Luka's off and, like, this lineup's on, they play better, basically. I mean, you can't argue with what he's saying. Like, it's insanely, like, it's an insane thing to say, but it could actually be true. But, like, still, man, this is a really interesting sort of look at how Porzingis, like, I don't disagree either. Like, Porzingis is wild, man. And, like, I feel like defensively and offensively he's important. So, I mean, I can't even disagree with this because Porzingis is a crazy, crazy good player.
Two is with Luka cheering from the bench.
Interesting as hell.
If you like this video,
what would you say about? I'm interested to see what people say in the comments. The key factor is PG. He's just as bad luck. He just has bad luck. I can see Luka hitting a game 3 winning in his face to close out the series. The true key factor is Paul George. People are just going to Paul George. Trey Burke play like 2000s point guard. It's nice to see. The real question is playoff P back to business? Whether Luka is or not on the court, his teammates are still playing well without him against the Clippers, which is amazing to see in the playoffs. Yeah, it's cool. It's good to see that without possibly their best player, or arguably their best player between him and Porzingis, they can still perform to such a high level. It shows they've got the depth that you need, man, in the playoffs. Lolo in the first game, the entire Mavs offense went stagnant whenever Luka came off the court. It's crazy how they're using Seth Hardaway Jr. They were both players getting their potentials wasted in their old teams. Interesting, man. Like, what are your guys' thoughts on this? I guess this is a thought that a lot of people disagree with. Like, it's got a lot of dislikes, but it's just a thought. I mean, I guess he's not saying, oh, I'm completely correct. He's just sort of throwing out a sort of opinion that could change or could make you think otherwise. But still, man, interesting sort of video. And again, if you want me to do more of this guy's channel, tell me what videos I should do. Maybe this wasn't the best one to do, or maybe you want more of these sort of player reactions to certain players like Luka, Doncic, Westbrook, or just anyone. Maybe he does whole season reviews, etc. I'm not too sure, but if he does, I'd love to see them because I feel like this is a really fun video to do. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Until next time, like, subscribe, peace.